Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you how I set up my baby green trees, and this video is really just going to be focused on neonate and maybe yearlings. Setting up adults is a little bit different. So basically, you want to put it in a 6-quart tub to start out with, and surprisingly this is one of the few things that a lot of breeders pretty much agree on around the board. You want to put it in like a smaller tub to give it more of a chance of just thriving a little bit better. They generally do better whenever they're in smaller tubs, and the temperatures are gonna want to be around, I would say maybe like around like 83, 84. It's 80 degrees right now because I just sprayed them. So whenever you first spray them, their body temp will drop a little bit, and you want the cool side to be around like in the high 70s to low 80s. And this is the ideal way to set them up whenever they're first starting out. And if you're just getting one green tree, there is a different method that I can show you, because these racks can be a little bit expensive. So this rack was like $180, and then the Herbstat was like $200. So you're basically paying $380 for 10 spaces, which is pretty good. And this is the ideal way you would want to set it up. If you were to ask me like what is the best way to set up a neonate, this would absolutely be it. There is a cheaper way that I'm going to show you here in a little bit. If you're wanting to come in this and do it right, and also if you know that you're going to be getting more than one, I would absolutely just go with this method, because you're basically paying $380, or you're paying $38 per case for a neonate, which is a really good price actually. So this is really the correct way to do it if you're just coming into this and you know that you're going to get more than one. And I'll show you guys what you can do a little bit bigger. So you can come out here, and this is my 15-quart rack. The one in the closet was 6-quart. And once they get a little bit bigger and a little bit more established, you can actually move them into one of these racks. And again, it's the exact same setup and everything. It's just in a bigger tub. And then take it even a step further, and they can go in a 32-quart tub, or they can also go in these big Cambro tubs right here. That's just the way I set it up. And I'm going to show you guys a cheaper method, the way that I set them up when I was first coming into this, or if you only have one and you're not exactly wanting to spend, like $400 right off the bat. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that way. All right, so this is a little bit cheaper way to do it. If you're just getting into this and you only have one green tree neonate. So basically you want to start out by putting the neonate in a spare bedroom, or maybe even a closet, or somewhere that doesn't have a lot of activity. This is my storage room right here. You basically just want to get a tub. If it's a neonate fresh from the breeder and it's only about 6 months old, you want to get a tub about this size. This is about 6-quart, and this tub's a little bit bigger. But you set it up the exact same way. You set it up like that. And these are actually coat hangers. Hold on, I'll show you. So these perches are actually just coat hangers. So like you have a regular hanger and you would cut it right here on both ends. And there's a thinner one and a thicker one, and I just got them both from Walmart, super cheap. And these mounts right here are what's called zip tie holders, and you can get those from Home Depot. You can order them on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. Basically what I have is this is about like a $20 thermostat or something like that, and it's over on top of I think it's like an $18 heat mat, and the probe is right there. And what you want is you want to just put the heat mat on one side of it so that there's a gradient, and you want the same temperatures, and the temperatures aren't going to be exactly right now because I just put this on top of it. But basically you want, see, it's even really low on that side, so you want to make sure the temperatures are correct. So you want to make sure that it's in like around 83, 84 on the hot side, and about high 70s, low 80s on the cool side. And you can have a little bit of a night drop. I would say maybe like a couple degrees, but as neonates you want to keep them pretty warm. So let's say you set this up and you leave it for a day. You want to temp gun it and see what your temperatures are at, and let's say they're too cold. Well, you can actually, instead of turning the thermostat up, you can actually just move this more on the heat pad and then just leave it for another day, or maybe even like a few hours, and come back and re-temp gun it. But you want it to be a very simple setup. And also another tip that I would like to do is, instead of having a clear top like this, I would recommend getting something that doesn't have a transparent top, because the neonates want to feel secured. As babies, you need to make them feel secure. Basically, that's what makes them not eat is security. So you want to get like a non-transparent top for them, and that's pretty much it. I think I just about covered everything, and I actually still use this method this day. This is my quarantine tub right here, you know, just a heat pad on top. It's connected to a thermostat, and this is how I set my quarantine animals up. So it's a good method. And I mean, if you're talking about, like, this whole setup is probably around the same price. It's probably around 40 bucks or something like that. So realistically, you're paying the same amount. It's just with the rack system, you get 10 of them, and you know, obviously you pay 10 times more. But this is a perfect setup if you just have one, you're just coming into it. And then also another thing is that you want to keep the humidity very high for neonates. So I always keep the paper towels damp. And you might notice that there's a lot of holes on top. Well, I put in a lot of holes because you can always cover these up with tape. So I would start off by covering them up with tape. If it's still wet after a couple days, I would just take the tape off, because you want to have like some decent airflow, but you also want high humidity. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, hit me up at Amazing Arboreals on Instagram, and I'll see if I can drop links below for all this stuff. That's it. Thanks for watching.